What's going on? It's your boy Alex. We got to talk about Gabby Petito and Brain Laundrie real quick for a multitude of reasons, because this is deeper than just talking about not dealing with toxic relationships. I also want to talk to my men, especially about how you have to have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to physical abuse or domestic violence with women, because no one's going to be on your side, okay? So first of all, let's get this out first. R.I.P. to Gabby Petito. God bless her. God bless her family. No relationship should be the reason for people to die. The majority of relationships are fake anyway. We get into these monogamous relationships, but we're not monogamous. Monogamous means you had sex with one person your whole life. We've all had sex with more than one person. We've all have a bunch of exes. We've all been in a bunch of relationships. And what's interesting to me the most about relationships, which is why this channel is called Reset Relationships, is everyone tells you to fall in love. Get with this one person, fall in love with this one person, invest your everything into this one person. Now, I honestly believe that's why we have such an issue with toxic relationships and domestic violence, because when you make people put their whole life, they build a whole life with their person. They're in love with this person cooks for them, they clean for them, they rely on this person to live because they split bills, or they live with this person, they have kids with this person, they put everything into this one person. And what happens if that person is a maniac? They have a mental disorder, if they become abusive emotionally or physically, if they are bipolar, if they're schizophrenic, if they have anxiety, what happens? Because now you've invested everything into this person. You can't just pull it out and leave. You can't just pull it out and leave. Now, understand, monogamy does not have to be for the weak, but a lot of times it is. It's for people who need someone else around. They need that emotional support, that financial support, that mental support, and they cannot tolerate if it's not there. And then that's how you get into a lot of these situations where people die, they get beat, they get killed, and all this negative stuff happens. We all were born alone, die alone. I say that to people all the time, all right? If you're lucky enough to find someone who y'all are, twin flames, okay, and y'all do everything the same, y'all complement each other perfectly and there's no problems, that's cool. But you are not entitled to that. And I feel like in America, we get this idea that we're entitled to it. When we think that we found it, we're unable to let it go, okay? So, R.I.P. to Gabby Petito. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Brain Laundrie did kill her. He's been on the run for like 2 months. So R.I.P. to her. And I want to say to the ladies, whenever you're in a situation where you have a dude, he's putting his hands on you in any type of way, or he's abusing you physically or mentally or emotionally, you should leave. You should leave. Don't let a man isolate you from your family and friends and put you in a box so that you can't get away from him. You should leave. You should leave on the first go. Okay? But I want to say something to the fellas really quick too, because this is important. Nobody else is probably going to say this, but you see a lot going on now where they're talking about how the cops butchered that situation and the cops should have took him in, and you could tell that Brian was crazy and they shouldn't have believed him. And it's the thing that I heard that set me off the most was when someone said, oh, it's typical for the abuser to stand there and act like they didn't do anything and play like the woman's just crazy. Listen, 1 in 4 women are on head meds. This is an opinion, this is a fact. You can look this up. 1 in 4 women are on head meds. So don't act like a dude saying a woman being crazy is rare. That's not rare. What happened to I'll bust the windows out your car, chopping off penises, throwing rocks through windows, chasing people around with knives? Women brag about being crazy. As a matter of fact, look at this video. That's a woman running someone over with her car. So don't do that whole, he likes to play that women are crazy. Some women are crazy. And here's my problem with this situation, okay? Again, if you're a lady, get out of this situation, call the police, do what you got to do, okay? You got the roof house, the halfway house. You got so many different options to help you in a domestic violence situation. But what's here for men? My problem with what Brain Laundrie did is because he did what he did, okay? And people are like, well, he called the cops, but that doesn't mean anything. Just because he called the cops doesn't mean that he's not guilty and the cops should have automatically took him down. They should have knew he was abusive. Here's the problem. As a man who has been in this situation where a woman has attacked him and I called the police, okay? And this woman had a domestic violence record on top of the fact that I called the police, okay? My head was bleeding. I was bit. I was punched in the lip, okay? And all because in the middle of her attacking me, I smashed her head against the window so she had a knot. I got arrested. I was deemed to be the aggressor by the cop. I'm the one bleeding. I'm the one bit. I'm the one punched. I'm the one who called 911. Not once, but twice. And I got deemed the aggressor. You know why I got deemed the aggressor? Because of what y'all saying about this Brain Laundrie and Gabby Petito situation. Oh, they should have knew he was lying. He's sitting there. It's the case of the abuser to sit there and act like he didn't do anything. That's not fair. That's not fair. Let me tell you guys something else. I have a friend, same situation. His baby mom started attacking him. He called the police. The police came there. She started crying. Oh, I don't know why he's mentally, physically. Guess what? He got arrested. And unlike me, he didn't beat his case. He had to do 45 days in jail for calling the cops because a woman was hitting him. And you guys can see this happen already. Go on any of the Gabby Petito and Brain Laundrie videos, and all you're going to see in the comments is women talking about how he should have been arrested, despite the fact that he called the police, despite the fact that she admitted to hitting him. Well, that's normal for the abuse to admit to being the problem. That's what happened to me. This is literally what she said. He just started going crazy. I started going crazy. Bro, what sense would it make for you to say, her argument to the police was literally, I went through his phone, see something I didn't like, told him to get out of the car, he wouldn't leave, and then started attacking me. So then why didn't you call the cops? If that was the case. That's not what happened. And see, this is the problem. This is why I'm making this video. We as men have to start talking more, especially when it comes to domestic violence. Because women have this idea that it only happens to them. Again, despite all the songs, I'll bust the windows out your car and everything else, they're going to make it seem like it only happens to them, like they're the only ones who can be abused, no one else can be abused. That creates situations where now I got to go out here and beat a damn assault case when I'm the one who called the police. I'm the one who's more messed up solely because I'm a man. That creates situations like my friend who went to jail for 45 days when he's the one who got beat up and he's the one who called the police, because now we got women running around using Gabby Petito like her situation is everyone's situation and saying, see, look at that. Most of the times the guy's going to play cool, they're going to play calm, they're going to try to make the woman seem crazy, but if the cops would have just arrested him, she wouldn't have seen crazy, she'd still be alive. You can't take one situation and run it and say that's the way that it always is. This is a very dangerous narrative that's being put out now, that even if the man's calm, even if he's the one who called the cops, you should still assume that the woman is the victim. We can't do stuff like that. We can't do stuff like that. And this is why I say we as men, especially when it comes to toxic relationships, we got to start talking up more. When our windows get busted out of our car, we need to start pressing charges. When we start getting hit, we need to start pressing charges. And it's funny because in my head, I'm like, I seen what happened to my friend before it even happened to me, but it was still amazing to be in a situation where you're the one getting abused and you call the cops and you get in trouble because you have a penis. It was amazing. It was amazing to me. So obviously the first thing I'm going to tell dudes, now of course I got out of that situation. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I got beat the case, I got out of that situation, immediately moved to my own place. So obviously for men and women, that's the first thing you do, immediately get out of this situation. But for guys, everyone's going to tell the girls, and I already started the video by telling the girls, of course you never deal with that. But guys, you don't deal with that shit neither. First time a girl starts going through your phone, the first time a girl starts putting her hands on you, busting up your stuff, throwing your shit out the window, cutting up your clothes, pouring bleach on your stuff, all this stuff that we all know that they do, you need to get out. Because the reality of the situation is, no one cares when it's you. Women, I'm telling this story right now. Women ain't gonna care. You're gonna see, I guarantee you probably at least 1 or 2, 3, probably 10 women in the comments saying that I'm being a bee. But we're gonna have to start being bees, because here's the thing. If we let it get to a point now where it's assumed that even if you as a man call the cops, you're still guilty, what the hell are we supposed to do to protect ourselves? Because we can't hit them. So what are we supposed to do? Exactly, we wouldn't have anything to do. Okay, so we can't let it fall that deep to that point. Now again, RIP Gabby Petito. Any woman in a situation like that, you need to get out, you need to leave, you need to run. But it needs to be the same thing for you guys as men. I'm telling you that love is a dangerous drug. You start to feeling like you need somebody. You start to feeling like you can't live on your own. We were born alone. We've all lived on our own. We've all had multiple sex partners. You don't need no damn one person. As soon as it starts to get toxic, you need to leave. Because what people won't tell you is, most of the time, the person who gets toxic is the one who needs the other more. The reason she got toxic is because I could just move on. I could get my own place. I could get another girl, which I did. She couldn't. She couldn't take care of herself. She couldn't just get another dude like me. That's what made her become toxic and physical. But when she plays that victim, I'm going to always look bad. And that's what I'm telling you guys. Never stay in a toxic situation. All that whole masculine frame and all that shit'll get you in jail. My friend held masculine fame. He went to jail for it. Now, I beat the case because I was smart enough, but he wasn't able to. There ain't no masculine frame. You don't just stay there and deal with it. Everyone tells men to stay there and deal with it or they're not a bitch. You're never a bitch for getting out of a toxic situation. The girl gets toxic, get the hell out of there. It's not worth your life. It's not worth your freedom. Born alone, die alone. You can move on. You can get another girl. Okay, but move on, fellas. Don't let no woman ruin your life. Just don't let them do it, because they know that they can call the police. Like I said, they're leveraging this situation into even less. You're going to have an even harder time now, even when you call the cops yourself, of getting a woman to get locked up. So you got to get out of toxic situations, guys. It's not worth your life, man. It's not worth your life. You can tell by the way they were laughing and joking at how calm they was about this situation that Gabby and Brian been on this domestic stuff. They've been beating each other and stuff like that. They both should have been gone, and now it has the worst ending. We got one person on the run and one person dead. Guys, if it's toxic, get out of there, okay? I'm Alex, and I'm out. Peace.